is the verse by Maddie Weingast. She says, full of trust, you left home and soon learned to walk the path, making yourself a friend to everyone and making everyone a friend. When the whole world is your friend, fear will find no place to call home. When the whole world is your friend, fear will find no place to call home. And when you make the mind your friend, you'll know what trust really means. Listen, I have followed this path of friendship to its end, and I can say with absolute certainty, it will lead you home. We often self-colonize. And by that, I mean we take the messages from our caregivers or society about what's wrong with us or how we should be different or how we should behave, and we internalize it. So we carry a gun aimed at our own self, and we consider that self a bad self, or parts of it as a bad self. And this makes us feel unsafe, because if something's wrong with us, then we're at risk of rejection. In the moments of self-judging, we literally deactivate the more recently evolved parts of our brain. In other words, we deactivate the parts of our brain that are responsible for learning and creativity and compassion. And just like countries that are colonized or people who are enslaved, we cut ourselves off from inner freedom and well-being and open-heartedness. You know, it's hard to feel friendly outwardly when we're at war with ourselves, when we're carrying a gun internally. You might remember the story of the Buddha, who would give talks to groups of people outside the town. There'd be a field and they'd gather. And this happened many times through his life, that while he was giving a talk, Mara, who was the kind of shadow side, the god of the shadow side, greed, hatred, delusion, and more, would appear around the edges of the field. And the Buddha's loyal attendant, Ananda, would see him and go, oh no, Mara's here. And he'd go and tell the Buddha, you know, beware, Mara's here. And the Buddha would always reassure him and say, no problem. And he'd walk right over to Mara and say, I see you, Mara. Come, let's have tea. I love that story because it's profound and sophisticated as a means of working with our inner life. When we see we're judging, when we see we're fearful, when we see we're ashamed, when we see we're angry, I see you, Mara. Come, let's have tea. Befriending. We need to learn how to notice our reactions to Mara, which are usually we condemn ourselves for our imperfections, to see Mara and to have tea, to really meet with a quality of curiosity, kindness, good humor, friendliness. Let's pause here and reflect again, just briefly. You know, friendliness means meeting with interest and warmth, what's here. And it promotes well-being. So you might just scan today. How friendly have you been towards your inner life? How much have you carried a gun? Just notice today, what's your attitude been? If things have been difficult, did you have tea? Or did you judge? Maybe there's a place today where you found yourself kind of habitually carrying a gun. You can use this opportunity to revisit it. Take a moment to go back. Just notice what was going on. And what happens if you say, I see you, Mara. Come, let's have tea. Maybe having tea means you send an inner message to yourself. Warmth, the friendliness. And maybe through the day, having tea means you briefly say, oh, there goes so-and-so again. And there's kindness, good humor, warmth. When the whole world is your friend, fear will find no place to call home.